Okay, it says we are streaming live on YouTube. We're good to go.
Yep.
All right, so Vice President, let's get it on.
Okay, it's January 5th, 2020. We are at 7:02 p.m. With us tonight is Gail, Pat, Tim, Tony's there, and Preston, and myself, Jeff. And next meeting is scheduled for February 9th. And I wasn't told, I don't know if we've got any citizens' comments. Do we have anybody that we're pulling in, Preston?
No, sir.
Okay, so we'll move on. I don't believe we have September or November minutes.
And see, September, I don't think we had minutes because it wasn't an official meeting. We didn't have a quorum, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, and then I think, was it October that we didn't meet at all? Is that right?
I think so too. Neither one, yeah, because we had nothing.
December
yes,
we didn't meet.
Yes.
December, we didn't meet at all.
December we didn't. We met October, November, I believe.
Okay, I couldn't remember. Yeah, I don't remember which ones.
I'll check my notes. They're somewhere. I
Okay,
don't have them here.
anybody have anything for old business?
Nope.
Wow, flying through this. Okay, so I guess first thing on our new business is a list of goals for 2022. Preston, I think you usually kick this off, at least kick off the discussion, I thought.
Well, actually, we've got accomplished quite a bit. We're actually going to it's imminent. We'll be starting the demolition and rebuilding of the bathrooms over at Helmos Park. And I think we talked about this before. I think we need to start setting some money aside for Stevens Park. That's the next one that should be raised and upgraded. And that's the one that Terry Pierce PAA makes all the money because they have a kitchen facility in there, but it's truly not set up properly. And we need to upgrade it just for sanitize, make it so it's easier to clean and, they can store food better. So we really have to take a look at that and we start setting some money aside for it. And the sooner the better, because there's a lot of money, as we all know, is going to be turned loose for capital projects, and you never know what gets filtered into the system. So I think we should probably get a plan in place sooner than later. So if money comes about, we have a plan in place.
Sounds good. I'm sorry.
Jeff Beck he needs a Zoom link. I'll send it to him.
Who's that?
Jeff Beck. Let me just give me a couple seconds to send the link to him.
So Preston, I guess what I'm hearing is that the first priority is the Stevens Park facilities there.
Yes. I think that should be our next upgrade in the park system. Everything else is relatively new, but that's one of the original parks, and that has open.
Sorry.
Well, there's the pipes. There's no heat in it, so we had to shut it down all the time. And then it has mesh around the windows. Birds get into it, so the life expectancy is done. It's a steel building. There's no block work in it, and so it's showing its age. And I think, like I said, it is the highest used park there is, and I think having the concession stands in place benefits PAA and potentially the pickleball people. You never know that they're getting large. They might start having tournaments there too, and they might want to have access to it. So it's something I think we really should look into, and it is for the betterment of the community. I mean, in general. So,
Roger
that. Preston, question for you then as well. I mean, with the budget for this year, are you guys pretty well taken care of? Are you short people, or how's that looking?
No, everything personnel wise, we haven't started putting the numbers to it. I'm going to request for 2 6-month employees and 2 full-time. And last year I was cut 1 6-month, and I ended up catching a 6-month and 2 summer help. So anyway, we'll see what we can do within the budget. So we really haven't put those numbers to it. We had some other outside expenditures last year, which I understood. I mean, that's, personnel wise, but we're back to pretty normal operation. So we should be able to work that back into the budget, I would foresee.
That's definitely good to hear.
Good.
Because see, you figure we'll have, by the end of the summer, we'll have another tot lot to take care of over at Westerly 7 Grove over there. That will be up and running. So, each time one little thing adds up, and we've taken Barron's Park on full time now. That's what over in Brightwell. So, we keep adding in areas to mow, and it's growing. But right now, permanent personnel, I'm pretty solid. I'm happy with it. But I do need to fill in with a couple summertime employees and a couple 6-monthers. So we'll see.
Can someone remind me where we are with the sidewalks? I know we put together that plan, and when Carrie was on the board, she presented it to the commissioners. Did we start putting away? Did that start getting money into the budget? Are we going to start working on some of the sidewalk replacement in town? Preston, do you know?
I do not believe so. And we also did a light study also.
Yep.
And some of the lights were taken care of. I think it's both of them kind of fallen off the radar here lately. And I think that's due to turnover in personnel, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's just, we haven't had a nice flow and things. And, when things like that happens, things get bumped off. And the sidewalks and the lights are something that we do need. And we are actually working on trying to get them all changed to LEDs. And actually, in the long runs, my maintenance goes away. I mean, they just are fantastic, and it saves the town. We have in place, we have a contract with the power company. So all we do, as soon as we change them over, they start saving money. So we just got to look at that and start setting money aside. We're trying to get some grants and this or that, but I think in general, let's start setting some money aside for that so we can move forward with.
I think both those projects need to get bumped up. Those, just to me, those are a priority.
And Patrick, I tell you what, something that's really come to light the last 2 years is that people do like to walk in this town, and we need to further our sidewalks. And all the new neighborhoods are fine, but the neighborhoods that were built in the 70s and 80s, that some of them slipped through, and like we need to tie in. I don't know if we have the money or not. Like the new development on and the Bottomer. Well, I don't think it ties into Hoskinson. But it doesn't make sense. You're going to have a dead end, so people got to jump out for 200 yards and jump back onto. And I know it's cost, but it's one of those things. It needs to be done. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
and we need to get things done.
I think we prioritized over by the schools as well, like particularly Wooten by the high school, and then connecting what it would be Westerly Grove to the high school, making sure that's all squared away. I know we can't run one in front of the high school. That has to be the county to do that.
See, we kind of have another interesting thing. Come out of Stony Springs, where Dr. Assumption Office used to be. There's a beautiful sidewalk and it dead ends there.
Right.
And then,
no, those were all that by the high school was priority one, I think, because there's a lot of traffic around there, and two, the kids out going to get lunch and stuff. They walk to the Healthy Hub or wherever, and there's literally no sidewalks on the school side. There's no sidewalk, and then on the other side, like you said, it dead ends. So those were priorities, I think. Those were the number one priorities, I believe, on our sidewalk study. And I thought we had put that plan together so that town manager could go in and look for grants to fund that, but also for
Jeff's here.
but also for, to start budgeting for these things.
But once
Yeah,
again,
and I
it
thought-
goes going back, Patrick. You know what the last 2 years have been like, and
Yeah,
now
listen, it is
No,
what it is.
but we
I'm
need to
not
keep. But no. But we need to keep it. We need to get it back to the forefront. I agree 100%.
You're right.
And because hopefully, within the next, 3 or 4 months, we'll have somebody in place and we can start moving forward again.
Yeah, I would say that the sidewalks and the lights are right behind Stevens Park. That's just me. I don't know where everybody else stands on.
See, I would actually but I would actually like to see the sidewalks, lights, then Stevens Park, because the first two, it becomes a safety issue. And I always like to err on the safety side of people. And so
Hey, I agree. I just, when we started the conversation, I thought Stevens Park was the number one priority, but if
as a structure, yes, but not, like I said, as a safety thing, I would like to see the sidewalks finished or improved first. Because, and what's funny, when I'm pushing snow and out and about, we do see the trouble spots. And it's normally, even during good weather, there's people in the road. And anytime you have anybody walking in the road, the potential, especially with distracted driving, everybody, we all see it.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, you look at Westmont, there's no sidewalks over there, and lots of streets in Westerly don't have sidewalks that need to be updated. But
Probably.
I think if we can maybe get that study that we did and that dust that off and really
why
start.
not? In our February meeting, let's get enough to get that listing. Let's get it back ready. So when the new town manager gets on board, we can go, look, guys, here's 2 things we'd like to get funding and get addressed. And then we'll throw Stevens on the backside. And then, hit, whoever's ready, we'll be ready February with what, here you go. So we'll see.
Cool.
On that.
That's all I had in terms of goals and priorities.
Anybody else? Any thoughts? Jeff, just a quick recap. Preston said how most park bathrooms were going to be redone this year. Structure-wise, Stevens Park bathroom concession area would be next. And then we were just talking about goals in general, and we were talking, we at one point came up with a list of sidewalks and streetlights, streets where we needed sidewalks, and
Right.
Being replaced with LEDs as priorities for what we think the, parks and streets type, what we think should be addressed.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, anybody else have any thoughts on additional goals, or do we need to do anything with new park that will be coming on? I know we met with them, whatever, it's probably 2 years ago.
Right. No, the one that's coming on over Wesley 7, that's already been designed. Everything's moved. It will be put in here in the next month or 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember we met with them a couple times, and I thought that was a really good project.
Yep, and it's been signed, sealed, and it's in the process of being put in.
We named that park too, right?
I think we discussed it, but I don't think we ever put anything forward formally. Because I know we had who was it? What was the name of the guy that came in?
Douglas.
I can't remember. So there we had a presentation.
Douglas?
About Etheridge?
Mr. Etheridge, yeah.
Yes,
Mr.
yeah.
Etheridge put forward the name, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do remember
I
that,
don't
yes.
remember if we ever officially put forward something to the commissioners, a recommendation.
For the new park.
I'm sure
Right,
that's
yeah.
coming down the
I don't think
road.
we ever made a suggestion to the commissioners.
Yeah, but I think we should think about that.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be today, but
Yeah. He'll give us a list.
We have a while, because when it's done, I'll make the sign and we'll get it in there. So we'll just, maybe the next meeting I thought we had a existing list, and I thought we did add somebody's name to it.
Yep.
We did. That was the presentation, Mr. Etheridge. The name is just, I have to go back and look at my notes, which are at town hall right now. So, but yes, we did add a name to that list. So we just have to see, who's eligible and vote on the name.
Sounds good. Second thing under new business is, it just says list of bike racks. I'm not sure what the question is here or what the topic is, so.
Sorry, I had a question about the number one item still.
Oh,
Do we have anything on the goals for those flashing crosswalks at additional locations?
Good point.
Because I'm thinking over by, Bassett's that intersection there, Elgin and Fisher. Yeah, Elgin and Fisher. And there's probably a couple of others as well. Well, certainly by the school where in the morning there's someone kind of managing the crosswalk when the children go across the street over to the elementary school. Right on Fisher Avenue at, I guess that's Wooten right there. Those seem to be, at least from my observation, those seem to be kind of hot spots.
And Jeff, I'm glad you said something. I forgot about those. We installed the last set, and I think that's one of the best things we've done in a long time.
I think they're fabulous. Yes, absolutely.
And I think once again we should look at movement to schools. I do like the Wooten Avenue and 107 right there at the elementary school.
Right.
And that's really a dark section anyways. I mean, even though there's light, I'm saying, but it's a high travel area. I like that one there. And then I noticed the other day when school was coming into the high school over off of West Willard, students coming from Stony Spring across. I think it was Spurrier, right there at Spurrier.
Yeah.
And if we're going to do it, once again, I would like to put the kids in the forefront of safety first.
Mm-hmm. Do the high school kids also go right across over there to the Baptist church for their lunch occasionally or frequently?
Yes.
So I
don't think there's official crosswalk right there going to.
No, there's none. No.
And see, that's where Patrick was saying we need to tie in where Dr. Assumption is. There's a sidewalk there. If some way we can figure it out to come across the road, even if it's on the side where backside of Pat Morningstar or Wooten Avenue, and have an actual sidewalk to those 3 yards, which I think we could probably get permission to do. And just, it's not quite on town property, but it's across the street, and it would designate a crosswalk, and we could put a light there too, which I think would be Patrick, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Yeah. I probably need John to go take a look at it and see if there's any swales or anything that we'd have to figure out. I don't think there is.
Because we did actually where the plumbing shop is and where Pat Morningstar owns a corner property, there was a blacktop path in there. So there was a path right away at one time through, I know those two properties. The only question is that corner house. I don't know what we have there.
Oh, you're talking about on what is that?
It's Wooten, I think.
Yep.
Well,
Wooten.
Yeah, Wooten and West Willard.
You're like going towards the gym.
Coming down Elgin Road, right there.
Right.
Oh yeah, by the Morningstar Welding.
Hey,
I thought you were talking about going down Wooten and across West Willard.
Well, I was.
Yes, if you come down Elgin, take a right, and just stay on that side of the road.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got now.
Because see, over on the high school side, they got the parking lot there. Then they actually have like a little wetland. So trying to work on that's not going to work well. But we could put something on, I believe, the other properties.
Right.
Hey, Preston.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to drag this on too long, but for clarification, where Ascension's property is now, the Mevison's bought it, right? The eye doctor?
Yeah.
That's town property, right? We own that entrance, don't we, all the way through? Didn't we trade or
we do.
something? Or
We do have a right of way, and there's an existing sidewalk that's in between the church property and his property.
but I thought that was town property, and we decided not to have the road go through there 10 years ago when they built Stony Spring.
That's
Remember
correct. Yeah, I definitely remember that.
Yes.
'Cause I was the one that said, let's at least get a path through there.
Right, because we can change that sidewalk. We own that, yeah, if we had to. I mean, I know there's one there, but we can make it better if we had to.
Yes, if we had, but it's,
Okay.
Timmy, actually, it's not too bad, but we need.
I
we
walk
just
it
need
twice
the-
a day. I know, it's great.
We just need that tie-in across the road.
Right, you have to line up the curbs. I know. And if we want to talk about a crosswalk, why not from across from Stony Springs to the pool? That's highly traveled in the
Oh,
summertime.
yeah, that's a good point.
And
Yeah.
I brought that up every year, and I get
Yeah,
pushed
yeah.
down by, you know.
And you know the answer to that. That's not our road, and they don't see a need for it.
Well, until some little kid gets crushed by a truck, yeah, it will be our road then. Yeah, unfortunately.
I think we should just go ahead and do it. I got the boys. We'll put it in.
Yeah, we should let them repaint it.
But we're talking about the flashing crosswalks, right? Like we,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
so,
I think we need one at the pool entrance too.
yeah, no, that's a great idea. Absolutely.
We were told because the corners don't line up. Well, hell, we could move the swale over and put a pipe over it, whatever.
But it sounds like a good job for a commissioner to make some phone calls, Jeff. What do you think?
And do we have to allocate money to buy those flashing crosswalks? The
Yeah.
flashing posts and whatnot?
Yes.
Yeah, are they
And I-
expensive or I have no idea?
I
Has to be
thought,
budgeted.
Yeah.
I think that, yes, because I thought the 4 that we purchased was $15,000, I think. Or a
Yeah.
pair of them was 15. It's like $7,000, 7,500, 7,500.
So why don't we, as a priority or as a goal list, why don't we identify the crosswalks and it doesn't have to be tonight, since we're just putting the goals down, but identify those crosswalks, make that recommendation, and we can
Okay.
knock that goal out pretty quick.
I think we
Good
can do
idea.
that.
Just to be clear, I wrote down 4 locations. I didn't write these down in priority order. Fisher and Elgin,
Yeah.
that's put by Bassett's. Wooten and Fisher, that's by the elementary school. Stony Springs over to the pool. And then by the high school, Wooten across West Willard.
I mean,
And
we
that
can,
might be all.
because I think we have to think about it a little bit more, but I mean,
Yeah.
like the Bassett's, that's a 4-way stop. I don't necessarily know if we need a flashing light for crosswalks there, but I mean, I think we may need to go out and actually walk these areas and see, okay, where they're
Yeah,
going to put
yeah,
them.
So
Yeah,
I'm,
during-
They need to tie in.
I'm all for the crosswalks. I walk the town, but I'm like, you've just mentioned 6 blinking lights down Fisher Ave, including the 2 we currently have.
Yep.
I think we definitely should walk and see where we can add crosswalks and before we go guns a-blazing with the blinking lights. I'm all for safety, but we still have small town where
Yeah,
I don't know, we need 6 on Fisher Ave. I think that's a
But Gail-
little bit much.
But
Yeah.
Gail, if there's a crosswalk and someone's in the crosswalk, you have to stop anyway, you know?
I know that, but we
I
don't
agree
need
with your lights though.
big
Yeah.
blinking lights down the road. I'm like, good Lord. Preston won't have to put up Christmas lights anymore. Just everybody just
change
press.
the
I like that. I just change them to green at Christmas time. I just change
I
them.
don't know. I mean, I'm for safety. I'm all about adding the sidewalks and the crosswalks, but I think we should check it out and walk and see what makes sense. And then, okay, maybe we add 1 or 2 and then we see, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe I'm saying that. I walk all the time.
I think I'm with Gail. I just think we need to put a little bit of thought into it and also just go put eyes on the areas we want to do it. Because the ones by the school, I don't even know if we can, because we don't know if there's an existing crosswalk. We don't know if there's, sidewalk tie-in.
Yeah.
Isn't that
So
gonna be the,
I'm 100% for it. I think, like, I'm with Gail. I just think we need to kind of be a little bit more,
Strategic.
Sounds like this could be our spring adventure when we go out.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Sounds good.
I had one
so
more
would
thing.
we would move that up. We'd move that, I think, probably in front of sidewalks, so the flashing lights, then the sidewalks, and then, or crosswalks, sidewalks, light study, Stevens Park.
Don't you need sidewalks to get to the crosswalk?
Yes, I agree, but maybe that may be a dual.
Yeah.
You may have to, kill 2 birds with 1 stone when we do that one. particularly about the school. But I agree with it.
Jeff, you had another one?
I do. I know. I think we discussed this it was some months back easily, or longer. And the idea had to do with bike share. If you go, or for example, if you go over to Rockville or Gaithersburg, you see these bike racks and there's these red bicycles and it says Capital Bike Share. And so the idea was, if it's possible, I don't know if it's possible or not because I haven't talked to anybody about it, but to get a bike share, like a Capital Bike Share, I don't know if that's the right one or not, but to get like a bike share thing that we could install in Wooten Avenue or Wooten Park and maybe by the schools. So if a kid wanted to, or me wanted to share a bike, you pull it out, you put your credit card in, that kind of thing, and you run it around for a while and put it back.
I think most of that bike share is actually private people who own it. It's not the government doesn't do it. They give people, private companies to come in because they'll maintain them, they'll haul them. So we would have to find out to see if somebody's willing to do it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to want volume, and I don't know if they'd get volume in pools. I see them all over DC.
Right.
All over, Silver Spring, Rockville, more densely populated areas. But I do think Preston's right. It is a privately owned company, and my guess is that, they'd come out and do a quick cost benefit analysis and see whether or not it's even worth it.
Yeah.
I thought Doug already looked into that. He gave a report a few months ago about we weren't big enough.
Well,
that's a good.
I thought that's what it was, but I do remember us having the conversation, and I do think it was tabled because they had said that we're not a candidate, or, for their business, but I can't remember.
He did.
We can follow up with. I believe he did. I think he actually reached out to 2 companies.
Yeah.
I remember something. I don't remember the details. Right.
Do you need a bike, Jeff? I'll get you one.
Yeah, I need a bike with 4 wheels.
Training wheels.
Motor.
Training wheels.
Jeff, you got anything else there for us?
That was all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So number 2 on new business is, it just says list of bike racks. So I'm not sure what that was put on the, anybody have any idea why that's what the discussion is here?
No, my recollection was we were tasked with, or we had taken on the task. We weren't tasked. We were taking on the task of identifying where we wanted bike racks, but we also wanted to design something that was aesthetically pleasing, could be incorporated into the town, and I guess COVID kind of put it on the back burner, and then the commissioners just, I guess, ordered bike racks. So I don't know how many bike racks we have.
And they've already been installed.
Well, can you give us a list where they are?
Yeah, we received 5 of them. We had requests from Brightwell. They have a bus stop right at Barron's Park. Park.
That was last meeting, right? Yeah.
Yep. So we went and installed 2 of them there because there was an extreme need right away. So we put 2 there. And then what I did, I looked at some of the underserved neighborhoods we have. Their parks didn't even have bike racks, none. So we installed one at Wooten Tot Lot. We installed one at Brooks Tot Lot, which are right next to the townhouses. So they've never had bike racks. And then Lori Gore Park was one that did not have bike racks. So now they do have bike racks. And Stevens Park has a bike rack. Wayland has bike racks. Helmos have bike racks. So those parks did not have any.
And those are just standard bike racks.
That's right.
Those are just like standard bike racks.
Yeah. Well, the ones at Stevens, Helmos, and Wayland, they're for 5 to 10 bicycles at one time. And those for high density. Well, and they were high use parks anyways. And where these ones that we got, they really are for 1 or 2 bikes. They're not designed for 10 bikes. What you'd have to do, you'd have to put 5 or 6 in a row to create a bike, for large large things. And they are nice. They're very nice, well made. The logo's fantastic. I really like how it turned out.
Wait, so they did do it with Town of Poolesville logo
Oh
on it?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, oh, they really are nice design. It came out.
I have to
really
go check them out. I didn't know they were in there.
And like I said, there's one at Lori Gore Park. There's two at Bright.
I'll check them out. Yeah, I'll take a ride. Check them out.
Preston,
what was
pulled up the old priority list that we had back from February of 2020?
I don't have it, and I don't remember the
Oh,
list.
no, I'm saying I'm looking at it right now. So Barron Park was actually a priority 1. Brooks Park was a priority 1. Lori Gore Park was a priority 1.
Good.
I don't see Wooten listed, but that might have just been one we overlooked. So I mean, actually, you hit the higher priority ones that we had on the list.
Cool.
that.
So what we need to look at now, if we go on, I need to order, because the new park coming in, there's no, so we need to order some more to have them on hand. So when the new park comes on, and then if we want to add additional features to Stevens or to Wayland or to the bigger parks, they really are sharp. They really are neat, and we can tie them in with the existing racks or move them, set them away from it throughout the park too.
Do we know what the cost was for those? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think they were cost prohibitive. I thought they were like $400 or $500 or something like that
Per one. Okay.
Yeah. They're nice. I mean, well made. Well made.
Yeah, I think it was cool that we were looking for something aesthetically. We were looking for that kind of aesthetic.
What they did, they used the town's logo, so it looks like the old bank.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
really
cool.
good.
Great.
Yeah.
So
You know
they did end up using our design going forward. Actually, that was what's it?
Well, we had found the one place online, and then Morningstar, also tried something.
Right, we were going to see if Morningstar could do it for if Pat could do it for cheaper.
And then what happened? It was kind of taken out of our hands, and somebody made some other decisions for the Parks Board. Basically, that's what happened.
Yeah. But at least
Oh,
they went with our design, I guess.
But nobody, Pat, when you see them, you're going to be very satisfied. So,
I don't know if do we need to go around and make a list of the rest of the bike racks, or is that?
I've still got this email from back in February of 2020. If you want me to forward it back around.
could you? I'd like to get a copy of it, please.
Yeah,
If
revisit
you don't
it,
mind, that way I can just.
or I'll shoot it to you. Yeah. Whatever you guys want.
So do they want us to take a look at what our priority list was and what we have and think about where we want to put the next round?
Yeah.
So we should do bike racks then as a goal, I guess. 2022.
So I'm just trying to pull something up here on my phone. There you go. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, Pat. Does that help, Pat? Can you see that?
Yep.
On my.
Yep. I like that. That's very cool.
Yep.
That's at Barron's Park.
Jeff, do you have the list in front of you from
Yes.
20? Can you read it off quickly, or if it's not that long?
Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 17 entries. If you want me to go through them all, or I can just shoot this to you.
17. Woo.
Well, we pretty much had almost every park listed on here, and as whether it was a priority 1 or a priority 2. I actually think we should probably go down to like priority 3 and 4, instead of just 1 and 2. But that's just me.
All right, send the list around. That's
maybe
fine.
we can
Thank you.
revisit that. Maybe we can just revisit that in February and change the numbers around a little bit.
Okay.
Yep.
Good enough.
And
Thank
we
you.
can just highlight. We can just mark off the ones that are done and move to the next.
Yeah, because we can scratch. You figure we top half of that list, well, not half, has been done. So we can
Right.
we can realign things.
Sounds good. I'm just making myself a note. List, email. Okay, anybody got anything else to add to new business? Without hearing anybody, Preston, go ahead with any report you've got for us.
Well, recap, I thought the Christmas lights went well this year. We left them up a little longer. We'll probably leave them up through the weekend because another snow event's coming. And, you know, I just think that's just me being selfish. I was like, I think they look cool with the snow. And it doesn't hurt anything else in time schedule for me. With that said, we had our first snow event. We actually were a little underhand because of some COVID, issues going on, but it went well. My crew did fantastic on there. And, that was an interesting snow event because actually it was a rain event at first. And some people were chirping about we didn't pre-treat the roads. Well, when it's a rain event, you don't pre-treat because it's a waste of funds. But like normal, it started snowing at 7. The roads were clear by 12. And we didn't start actually pushing snow we don't push snow until it gets an inch on the ground. And so when it did at 9, we were done by 12, salted by 1:30. So anyways, once again, the crews did fine. Equipment did fine. We do have enough equipment, which is nice. We're still waiting on 2 trucks though, which I ordered over a year ago to replace some of our older vehicles. And it's just in the loop right now. Just a lot of people are stuck with no trucks right now. But anyways, we have enough trucks to cover. We got all of our tree replacements in. It was nice. I'm glad we did get some moisture because we were pretty dry. And when you plant trees, you like to keep water on it. So this last couple of weeks been really good on that. And we've also done some pruning this past couple weeks. So we're into our tree maintenance right now. And then we'll go into our winter maintenance on our parks also. I ordered some new borders for one of the parks that needs replacement. So that's where we're at right now. It's wintertime's not always a slow time for us. This is when I get my projects moving, my bigger things. So, and I always appreciate your guys' eyes when you guys see things. Timmy's very good about it. He's walking all the time. He always shoots me a text, something bored loose or something's going on. And that's great having extra eyes out. I do appreciate that.
Hey, the one big thing I've noticed, even just walking at Hunter's Run area, is how many sidewalks you guys have filed down, which is just awesome.
And we purchased a grinder, but we also still bring in contractors. Now, that's one thing, we want to be Tree Town USA. And trees are lovely. But there is a maintenance and a hazard that comes along with trees. And so we plant them in the right of way. And in the right of way, we got sidewalks in our right of way. And those roots really do, especially those pear trees, they will heave a sidewalk in a second. So it's just something that it comes with the turf. We see it, we know it's there. And we've been trying to do once a year, have somebody come in and give us a big run on the sidewalks, grinding.
Right. Yeah, I've really noticed that's made quite a difference.
Good. And once again, over the wintertime and in the springtime, when the water hits and those tree roots expand again, you'll see them again. I mean, it's coming. And once again, everybody's eyes help. I can't walk on the sidewalks. So if you see something, go to town hall, send it to town hall, and they'll put it on my list. And then we'll correct it as soon as we can.
Why a silly, well, maybe an uneducated question. Why do you grind the sidewalks?
Okay, Jeff, what happens, we don't want to have a tripping hazard. So what happens
when they're uneven?
Yes, it makes it uneven. And normally anything over a half inch, we go, not normally, we will go in and have it ground to get it back to, within safety standards, basically.
Yes,
And we have Jeff. We have had incidents where, I'll say older, but where citizens have fallen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds quite important then. Yes.
And the thing is, Jeff, after a couple times of grinding, we do have to go in and replace the sidewalk. We did that over on Hirschberger. And because what happens, you can grind, but you end up the slope gets out of ADA compliance type of thing.
Oh, yep.
We'll have to go in, and then what they'll do, they'll break it out, they'll cut the roots out, and then they'll redo concrete in there.
Okay.
But that's just a cost of doing business with trees. If you want trees, this is just something you know is going to happen.
Right.
Thank you, Preston.
Sure.
Jeff,
Yeah, so
you are up.
I have some notes from a number of meetings here. So, yeah. So so this was a commissioner meeting from the December the 20th. Of course, everybody is well aware that Tony Tomasello is going to be leaving us. He's going to stay until the end of March. He's already on part-time hours. Reduced the number of hours until the end of I think it's till the end of March, right? Regarding the comprehensive plan, the planning commission is already working on that. They expect to have a resident survey coming out sometime in this month, January. Jim Brown reports from the Fair Access Committee that they are giving a push for the new gym. Of course, everybody probably is familiar with the fact that the school plans are out. They look quite good from what I've seen. However, they're building a new school around a very, very old gym. So there's definitely a desire to have a brand new gymnasium put in. And Jim makes sure that he, well, not just Jim, but the Fair Access Committee is in it for the long run. So they're not only pushing for the new gym, the community center, and of course, working diligently on reopening White's Ferry as well. Regarding White's Ferry, the Fair Access Committee sent a letter to the Maryland and the Virginia officials. The letter was signed by the Fair Access Committee, signed by the commissioners, and also signed by the Poolesville Area Chamber of Commerce. I happened to attend the meeting with the Loudoun County supervisors over in Leesburg, and this was probably early December, maybe late November, something like that. And one of the things that I remember hearing, which I didn't really like to hear, but one of the supervisors said, well, if Maryland was really serious about regional transportation issues, they would talk to us about a bridge. So I don't like the B word. So anyway, I hear back and forth from different people that there's progress, and I hear there's no progress. So it's somewhere in between. Yeah, so I already talked about the letter being sent. The schools on the front, the new high schools on the front burner for the Fair Access Committee. And the Fair Access Committee is organizing a candidate forum. These are the candidates that are running for the Montgomery County executive position. So they're going to have a candidates forum. It will be probably, well, hopefully it'll be in person, but I guess that's yet to be seen. And then the expectation is to try and extract as many promises from the candidates as we can, possibly get. Of course, everybody is very familiar with the fact that Bassett's is closing, and they noted the absence of the ferry traffic as being a significant impact on their business. Yeah, there is a concern about the empty storefronts, not only from Bassett's, but from where the banana tree used to be, and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's been an issue. There are 3 big projects that were approved at the December 20th commissioner meeting. These are projects that are I&I. The I&I, the letter stands for Inflow and Infiltration, and this has to do with the wastewater. When it rains heavily in older sections of the town, where the rain infiltrates into the wastewater system, of course, that all ends up at the wastewater treatment plant, and then we end up exceeding the capacity there. So that's not a good thing, and it's something that people need to, or not me, but fortunately John Stone has got this well in hand. It's something that requires continuous attention. It doesn't, you don't just do a project once and it's finished, because of course then every other area starts to age as well. So we are kind of going a little bit backwards here. We are in the process of soliciting for a new town manager. And one of the things that Tony mentioned was in the job description that he applied to it didn't have enough emphasis on certain priorities, and certain of those priorities are the water well system that of course feeds the water towers and whatnot, and also the wastewater treatment plant. So he didn't really have, it wasn't stated clearly enough in the job description. So Tony is adding that to the new job description, which we just got today. And I read it over and it looks pretty good. And also Tony mentioned that a good deal of the job is kind of shifting a little bit more towards keeping people up to date in terms of social media and the website updates. So that's something important as well. Of course, it just seems like whoever gets hired has to be Superwoman or Superman to do all, such a variety of.
Jeff, have you guys ever thought about having a 2-tiered system? Have a town manager, one that handles the commissioners and the people, then have a second person that understands that infrastructure, so that a person doesn't have to care, because you're carrying that full load of the physical part. And then now with today's, the town has evolved that we have a lot of other activities and other things. For somebody to master both levels, that's kind of tough.
That is a lot. Well, on your point there, Preston. Yeah. So the answer is kind of yes, but not exactly the way you stated it. So there is in the budget a spot for an assistant town manager. Now, how the duties get defined and get separated, that's kind of yet to be seen. Of course, we don't even have an assistant town manager. And that was one of the things that Tony was going to undertake. But now that kind of has to wait because, it's not correct that he hires the assistant town manager, then the new person has to come in and figure it all out. So yes, it's in the budget. It never really went forward. And, so that's something that's still a little bit up in the air, but very good observation. Yes, it's clearly something, because otherwise you're just trying to write a job description for Superman or Superwoman, and there's not that many of them floating around.
Jeff, I got a question. Is it a budget item?
It's in the budget. It is in the budget. I don't know the number offhand, but it is in the budget.
Yes. It's an ongoing thing, been approved.
I can't say. Well, yeah, it's an approved budget item, right? It hasn't been spent yet because we didn't hire anybody.
How long has it been in the budget? How many years?
Just this year. They were just the most recent one. Yeah.
Wow.
Not. It hasn't been like 5 years or 10 years or anything like that.
Interesting.
And we are again back on the search for the new town manager. So the citizen committee, I don't know if you remember, we had a citizen committee that reviewed when we got, this is for the Tony round, right? When we got 29 applicants, I think it was 29 applications. And what we did was we organized a citizen committee, and there were a lot of HR folks, really knowledgeable and excellent HR folks. There were residents, and they offered to help out, kind of sort the application. So they did that, and then the commissioners did their own kind of sorting as well. And it was either coincidence or skill, somewhere in between there, that the top 3 matched up from the city committee and the commissioner. So that was really good. Anyway, we hired the top person, and that was Tony. So whatever. But anyway, we're going to. So the steps in terms of what's happening now with the search for the new town manager is Tony updated the job description to reflect the priorities, which were not in there in the last go around. The citizen committee is back on board. Plus, an additional person was included. A gentleman's name is Julian, but I'm not familiar with the person myself. I had a conversation with a gentleman named Mr. Rowett, and he has a military background, and he suggested that we include several military job posting areas and looking for a civil engineer, because typically a civil engineer in the military has all the same skills in terms of wastewater treatment plant, roads and streets and all that kind of thing, staff management and lots of other stuff. So it does seem like a good fit. We're going to add that for the next, as we cast the net for the next town manager. And also there's an, last year was just a couple weeks ago, we also brought on board a part-time HR company. And so they're going to play some role. We don't know exactly yet what role they're going to play in terms of the selection or the at least the reviewing of the applications. Yeah, and then once
What was the company? What was the HR?
I don't have written down offhand, but I don't know. I'll have to let you know about that. And the commissioners, yeah, so the commissioners are going to do the interview, but then of course that's not going to happen next week. We also had, so I have another report here about Omicron. Omicron is upon us. Volume of cases is increasing. Maryland State has they got it corrected, the computer problem, and they were not reporting the information in a timely fashion, but I think they're caught up in that now. Montgomery County cases have increased. Of course, we all know about the recent state of emergency that Governor Hogan has put into place. Kind of a personal, just a little personal, I don't know how many people might be watching on YouTube, hopefully not many. I was on duty on Monday, and we were assigned in Frederick. Can I say that? Yeah, we were assigned in Frederick County, and Montgomery County was helping back up Frederick County, which happens from time to time. And anyway, we had 2 calls. We did one transport. We transported into the hospital, and I had never in my life, and I've been 29 years, seen a hospital so overcrowded ever. There were beds with patients on them jamming the hallways, right? So if you wanted to go from here to there, you had to go walk sideways. It was not a good scene. So yeah, when you hear about all these stuff, it is absolutely real. So get your boosters and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, town hall is shut down until the end of January. Probably saw a sign. And right now, Tony has implemented, I think, shifts so that not everybody's in the town hall all at the same moment. And they're working out curbside assistance, because sometimes people drop stuff off, they pay their bill, whatever. So that's going to keep going. They're going to, of course, answer the phones and whatnot. The wastewater treatment plant is closed to visitors. And yeah, so town hall is closed to visitors until the end of January. Let's see. I know I got some other stuff here. Put that down. Did I talk about this already? I don't know if I did. Oh yeah, so tax duplication. So there's good news. You know what tax duplication is? It's when the town of Poolesville and the county of Montgomery County bills you for the same thing, so you pay twice. Well, the idea is that Montgomery County is supposed to give that money back, and they haven't been doing that since, I don't know, 2008, something like that. Anyway, so this organization called MML, that's the Maryland Municipal League. And as the name implies, that is an organization of all the municipalities in the state of Maryland. And the MML, the Montgomery County chapter of the MML, of course, Poolesville is part of that chapter, is working with the Montgomery County Council to codify, instead of just having, literally, this is what happens. The county council pulls a number from the air, just right. It says, instead of giving you 100% back on your rebate, we're going to give you 10%. So then we don't get that money, right? So instead of just having literally someone invent a number out of thin air, there's going to be an equation. So I don't know what the percentage is going to be plugged into that equation yet, but it's going to be better than someone, guessing at it. So that's actually a good thing, because the Maryland Municipal League, or Montgomery County chapter, has been working on that for literally a decade. There has been a trash survey, and I don't know if you've seen the trash survey. I have a copy of it here. I have a couple of things which are highlighted, which maybe I'll go over right now, as a matter of fact. So I didn't highlight everything because there are 35 pages, and most of it's, like, are you a resident town? Yeah, that's not that interesting. So one of the questions, how many persons live in your residence? I was surprised the average is 4. I thought it was 2. Another question, do you place household trash at the curb every collection day? 65% said yes. Yeah, I didn't know that. How many times per month do you not place trash at the curb? 42% said they always place trash at the curb. That was interesting. How often do you place completely full trash? Of course, this is somewhat subjective. 18% said every time, 47% said almost every time. How often do you place, okay. What is your estimate of the actual, this is interesting, What is your estimate of the actual per residence monthly cost of trash service in Poolesville?
Hey, Jeff, I don't mean to interrupt. What was the purpose of the survey? We did there's a trash survey, but
Oh yeah, well, we're going to have send out
I
a
just
new.
don't know why we're even going over.
Oh yeah, we're going to send out because the contract finishes soon with
Oh, is
Bates.
that for bid? Okay.
And there's
So the
been-
trash survey is a citizen survey that's.
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go-
exactly. Yeah, I should have
How does
started.
that impact the bidding process?
Well, because the idea is to collect the desires of the residents and incorporate that into the RFP. So if someone says that the most important, well, let's say if a vast majority of people say the most important thing is that we have all of our recyclables organized by glass and paper and different and aluminum cans, then that's like dual stream or whatever they call
Right.
different bins at your house.
So just be looking for citizen input for the bid.
Yeah. So just a couple
High
more things.
level, 30,000 from you.
Yeah, so one of the most revealing things I thought was, what is your estimate of the actual per residence monthly cost of trash service in Poolesville? And 60% said they have no idea, but the correct answer is about $20. I don't know if we need to go about the rest of the stuff, but anyway, so that was it. There's more pages than you really want to know about. I'll be happy to email us if anybody's wants to look at the details.
Jeff, why was the question, how much does it cost? Why was that put in there? Why was that important? I'm curious.
I'm not sure if I know why it was put there. I think it was just to get, where do we have that? Oh yeah, question 7. I don't know, Dr. Pike, why it was put in.
Okay, we move on. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did find it interesting anyway. So I already mentioned the candidate forum. So the Fair Access Committee is organizing the candidate forum. Well, apparently all 4 candidates have already accepted, so that's really good. I mentioned tax duplication already, so I don't want to go over all that stuff. Yeah, I think I mentioned all that stuff. Did I? Yeah, okay, very good. That's done. That's done. A few more things. So I saved up a bunch of stuff because I know I haven't had a meeting in a while. So the winners of the holiday lighting, the townhouses James and Kim Poor on Hoskinson, Ben and Maureen Gilly on Wooten Avenue. They're traditional, I'm not sure what traditional is, but James and Meg Oberman and James and Meg Oberman on Brierley Hall and Julian Gabbard on Chiswell. Contemporary, Paul and Chrissy Harney on Collier Way, Tom and Lisa Green on Dr. Moore Court. The business holiday lighting winner was Rebecca Munster Designs. The judges were Tom Kettler and Tara Schultz. So congratulations to all those winners. Let's see, I think I got everything here.
Thanks.
That's all that stuff is just kind of repeat what I said before. Yeah, let's see here. Employee handbook. Yeah, I think I talked about all that stuff already, so I don't want to. Yeah, that's it. That's enough. Anyway, questions?
I got a quick question. What triggers the closing of town hall and what triggers it reopening?
No, that's it. I don't know the empirical evidence behind these decisions.
No, I'm just, not the evidence. I just say, is there like a trigger or like, I guess the question I'm saying is because there's a case of COVID, we're closing town hall, but there's cases of COVID in businesses, there are cases of COVID in schools, all those things remain open. I'm just curious as to why town hall is getting closed.
Patrick, because we're such a small unit, we can't absorb. You figure there's only 18 people. So if we have
No, I am not criticizing, just curious.
No, and I'm telling you why.
Yeah.
What happened, we have a few people that have been exposed. We have a few that might have it. And to err, trying to get some distance between people, because at town hall, those 3 people, they're right on top of each other.
Right.
They're so trying to give them some, and then when you only have one person in there trying to answer phones and do other things, I mean, it just doesn't work well with one person. But you
Right,
can't
we can still hold meetings in there. I'm not saying like the town, like, you know what I mean? Like I just.
that goes back about how, having crews come in and disinfect in between meetings,
It's an airborne virus. It's fine.
Pat,
Just
I
curious if there was
understand.
like
I'm
a
just saying
thing. If
the
not,
reasoning why.
I don't know. Okay. I was just curious. And it is what it is at this point. But I mean, every other institution is able to stay open, but our town hall, we can't use for the town. I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I'm just a dumb Parks Board member.
Well, thank you for notifying your neighbors to move the cars out of the cul-de-sac. That was very helpful. Thank you.
Not a
I'm
problem.
referring to
My
the
pleasure.
Santa
The Santa.
ride around Stearns Court.
So
Yeah,
I hear we don't have,
there's always stuff that's got to move out of Stearns Court.
Anybody have any new topics they want to bring up before we move on here? Nope. Okay, so just a quick follow-up. Things we're going to be looking into: sidewalks, lights, flashing crosswalks, trying to prioritize all of that is what I at least had as things that we'll be looking at next month. And then potentially, I guess, in the spring, we'll, look at the flashing crosswalks by doing a walk.
okay,
Sound good?
sounds good.
Perfect.
Anybody ready to make a motion here?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
Third.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Good night, guys.
Good
Good
night.
night, Pat.
Thank you.
Good night, Jeff.
Good night.
Hi, Gail. Tony, Preston.
Hey, Preston, don't forget to tell Tony to turn the YouTube off.
I'm gonna send him a text right now.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
See you later, Preston.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay.
I got it, Preston.
Thank you.
I just got back.
We'll work it out. Thank you.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, Tony.
Oh, there you are. Well, that's an interesting
Hey, I
group.
just showed
man.
up. All right, shut it on down. We're good.